And hello, and welcome to the GI Sports Show. I'm your host, Nick Slowiak, along with
Scuba Steve.
Scuba Steve today. I'd like to start things out by giving a shout out to our third-party member, Rosie McCurley, who's at home. She says right away, Rab, make sure you have your coffee mug full of water.
I don't have it.
See, Rosie, this is what happens when you're not here with us. But guys, we'd like to welcome to our show. Get this spread out here a little bit. We're going to start off by talking to you guys about the Hawaiian Legends event. We have a lot to talk about, but we're going to start with Hawaiian Legends. Rab, you were there. I've played there. Maui paintball. Tell me about it.
When you were there, what were you doing out there?
I was out there for my honeymoon, and I knew about it, and I secretly set up my honeymoon so that we had no choice but to stop there on the way back to the airport. And my wife had told me going there, because we had to drive past the field to get to our hotel. She's like, we're not going to go there. Zero paintball. This is our honeymoon. And we ended up going there. I sold a gun, a jersey.
How did she take that?
She was good, because the fine folks at Maui Paintball provided us with some of their local craft beer, and it had some pineapple juice in it. And they gave her a six-pack.
Give a shout out to Clint.
Yep, Clint Hansen, owner operator of Maui Paintball. But
the event, like, you got to play there a little bit. The event was first event for Hawaiian Legends, and a couple hundred people out there in Hawaii. You're playing, you're looking, you see the ocean right there. There was a brush fire on the hill that they were worried about on Friday, coming down and getting into the paintball field, and luckily it didn't. But the atmosphere there was amazing. The tree house, and you've played this, so you can go into your experience a little bit. The tree house is the biggest tree house I've ever seen in paintball ever. Like, I've traveled all over the world, and you can take a look. You'll see it here.
Well, yeah, there you saw the helicopter that was landing. You said it was going.
It was preventing
picking up water from
right
the ocean.
Right at the ocean, which was right next to the field, straight up the mountain there to prevent that fire from coming down, which they were worried on Friday, and it was still going on Saturday. But the tree house was just a cool atmosphere, something different that I've never seen before, and I've seen a lot of fields. Luckily enough, I get to travel the world doing this awesome job. You get to see something different every time you go, and this was an experience that you played as well. I think you played in that treehouse, didn't you?
I did, and I got to walk around it. It's truly an amazing experience. I mean, you can see the footage here, and shout out again to Clint Hansen, the owner of Maui Paintball. I've never played a paintball field like that, where you can literally just go from one end of the field to the other and be in the trees. You don't have to touch the ground other than entering into the field to get into those spots. And you can see these people here. They're a good 5 to 6 feet off the ground. There's someone on the ground right there.
And that's was the funniest. Like, you're up top and you think you're safe, and some dude's right behind you and just wearing you out. And then you go to the bottom. You hear the guys like, I'm not going to play up top anymore. They go to the bottom, and then the guys up top are just wearing them out. So it was hunter be hunted in that treehouse, which was pretty neat watching everybody play there. So,
yep, and
that was produced by CPX Events. So, and they have an event this weekend, Endless Legends, but that's going to happen again next year. So, if you've never been to Hawaii and you want to play a cool field, you got to go to Hawaiian Legends.
Yeah, and that event happened the first weekend of September, so hoping to get information on that. We do have some upcoming events, so guys, let you know about Endless Legends being one of them, part of the CPX crew that's been putting this stuff on. But let's move on. NXL Chantilly just concluded an Impact 1, coming off their worst finish in years at the NXL Chicago event. They took 9th overall. They come back into Chantilly. They win the event. They win this series. This is their 3rd series in a row, and their 4th out of the last 5 years in Europe. Pretty impressive.
It's a pretty good run they're on. And we were talking about on the Go Sports show last week, how would they recover from their worst showing, and how would the Russians, who just won Chicago playing Ironman, how they would handle coming into Chantilly. And they played Impact twice and got beat twice by Impact. So I guess Impact was angry from what you guys did to them on Sunday morning, because you put a pretty good beating on them Sunday morning in Chicago. But that was what we were all wondering. Will they recover? And they recovered.
They did, and it's without a doubt, you can say, easily one of the most dominant paintball teams. And it just goes to show, from taking 9th place in Chantilly, in Chicago, to then going into a whole new event, get a few days of practice on the field, and then win. And it's, again, like you said, it's not like the competition over there is
they had to play the Russian Legion Breakout Spa, which has half the Ironman on Breakout Spa. So, and Coach Todd Martinez. So the competition is pretty good over there. And then their final game was against Houston Heat. And so they're not no slouch either. So it's against quality competition. And we were wondering how they were going to respond to it. And it was a pretty good event all the way from start to finish, all the way for them. So congratulations to them. That's a pretty good run to do that.
Yeah, and guys, again, we've talked about big games to play. You want to play Hawaiian Legends, definitely look to do that just because of the setting and the scenery. But Chantilly, one of the most beautiful fields and locations I've ever had the pleasure of playing at. I'm happy the NXL stuck with that. In the middle of a horse track, you've got these horse stables that look like they're a castle. You've got a chateau that's off in the back. Beautiful spot just north of Paris, about 45 minutes. So if you are ever looking to play an event and there's one there again,
that's the one you want to go to.
That's the one you want to go to.
And going into that as well, you had two teams that are moving up. You have Stockholm Ignition, who took second place to
the Cryptonomics.
And
Archie Montemayor guesting with them.
Yeah, he sure did. Congratulations to Archie. Shout out to him as well.
Way to get your beak wet.
And Lucky 15s, they qualified as well to move up. So both those teams will be moving up to the Pro Division next year. So congratulations to Stockholm Ignition and the Lucky 15s, Ainsley
and the boys.
We'll be in, or I'll be in England next weekend for the CPPS. His final event of the year is happening, and I'm looking forward to that because there'll be somewhere between 100 and 120 teams there from all over England, Ireland, all over the UK, and it's a fun atmosphere. Led's sent me a message from Planet Eclipse. He's playing, and even though I didn't respond to him fast enough, he wants to see if I can play with him.
You should play
with the Sandbaggers.
Oh, you should do it.
Yeah, if I can get a spot. If not, I'll be a good pod guy.
Well, you heard that, guys. Rab is going to play with the Sandbaggers. That's a proper name for you, even though Billy Saransky chimed in saying that you got hunted just like when you were almost pro. Billy Saransky in here. Also, Carlos Lopez having no idea what fashion sense is, but we'll talk to him after that. Carlos, get back to work.
Acknowledge Billy Saransky.
You got to acknowledge Billy.
Okay.
It's the B. Up next, we'll do a quick shout out to our third member of our broadcast crew, Rosie McCurley and Brad McCurley. Congratulations on having baby Riley. Oh,
there's baby Riley right there. Supposed to be Riley, Steve McCurley, but they left the Steve out. So
we'll have to get Riley in here. I saw that she had a little jumpsuit. There we have the Lone Star Classic, which we're going to talk about next. But shout out to Brad McCurley, Rosie, and their newborn baby Riley. Also, Darren Cesenia had himself a little baby boy Cosmo not too long ago. We'll have to get those two in here. Have a baby duel on the table.
So let's talk about the Lone Star Classic. How did this happen? Like, how did this all come about?
So the Lone Star Classic is going to be a 10-man event held at X Factor Paintball Park, and that came about because X Factor this year went to the Iron City Classic, the second annual Iron City Classic that Tim Montresor has thrown, and Alex Martinez loved it, and the guys loved it, and obviously
you guys won.
We won the event, but it was just such a fun time, and I think that really touched deeply with Alex, and he was like, hey, I can do this. And so he's committed a large portion of his resources and gotten together with Greg Pauly of the AC program. And they're going to build this event essentially from scratch. 3 new fields, brand new Mounds field, brand new hyperball field, and they're going to build a woods ball field or modify one of his woods ball fields for 10-man. And in the spring of 2019 at X Factor Paintball Park, there will be the Lone Star Classic. So he's digging airlines, he's digging trenches, he's building fields, he's buying property to expand his location and just have this 10-man event. Yeah, so I'm stoked.
He seemed pretty excited about that.
No, he's pumped
as well as the team. So yeah, he's definitely all into it with the paintball.
You could say he's all in.
Yeah, he's all in for sure. But I saw the guys wearing these shirts, X Factor and AC Dallas. So
yeah. It's going to be nice because we'll be able to play, and they already have guys in place to be independent head refs on each field, and so the structure of it's already essentially built. It's just going to be now the infrastructure of the fields, and then just building up the hype and getting people to sign up and come down to San Antonio, getting those NXL dates sometime soon. Tom Cole.
Yeah, well, we're going to creep on him, get him down here. So
and planning everything out. So moving on, We just had Ryan Sexton head down to Hunter Valley Paintball in Australia and New South Wales. We don't have any footage from that yet. He just got back and he's in Oklahoma, but this pertains to people for the Brigade program. He's going to be providing us with footage, and we're going to make a little video of that
this weekend.
Yep. He just
Avid.
essentially flew straight from Australia to Oklahoma for another game. I don't even know if he went home. But we do have some upcoming events for the Brigade. We've got Endless Legends at OXCC. That's coming up this weekend, the 5th through the 7th. And then another big one of my personal favorites, big games all around, is Clowns vs. Zombies at Paintball Explosion, and that's the 12th through the 14th. And we have J-Rab playing with Reaper versus Ryan Greenspan and Wolf. And I know Greenspan, curse him because he's HK and everybody else, and we're GI, so I can say that out loud.
Now that field is real close to where you used to live, correct?
That field's like 7 minutes from where I grew up. It was an old kids amusement park with an indoor hockey rink, and now it's one of the world's largest laser tag arenas. But they built Nuketown to scale from Call of Duty. It's one of the coolest fields you can play on. They have a massive pirate ship. They've got 2 towns. They've got a Vietnam village. They've got a bunch of really cool stuff that they made use of very well from the old amusement park. They have an indoor bar. They've got 4 TVs with Xboxes, fireplace, fully stock pro shop. It's pretty epic. If there's an event you guys can get to, I'd recommend Clowns vs. Zombies. They do quite a few scenario type based big games out of Paintball Explosion, but it was sweet. I could drive essentially. I actually posted a picture on my Facebook from 2013 of when I would go play there, and then my mom would no longer allow me to wash my clothes at my parents' house because we'd play Aftershock, and I stay in the inside of our washer pink.
Tell me you played Aftershock with not Billy on the team.
No, I played against him, and then he left to the Ironman. We know how that was. Yeah. Looks terrible in red.
Yeah.
But
fact.
Yeah. Did you say fact or fat?
Fact.
But played there at Paintball Explosion, and then I made a post on Facebook because the local laundromat where I'd wash my stuff literally put a picture up saying you can't wash paintball stuff here anymore. And I think that's because of me and Paintball Explosion. But that'll happen. So yeah, Clowns vs. Zombies, 12th through the 14th of October. Endless Legends, October 5th through 7th at OXCC. Those are Brigade games. You can get a patch there. I'm not sure if Ryan will be there, but we'll be getting more information from him.
Yep.
And that footage from Hunter Valley Paintball in Australia and New South Wales. The last thing we want to touch base on.
Well, you got a couple. Don't forget, we got CPPS.
Oh yes, well yeah. You said
England with Ainsley and crew. That's his last event, the GI Sports Open, and then the following weekend we'll be in Malaysia for NXL Asia with David Gooch and Canyon Paintball. So we got our hands full these next 3 weekends. So and then this weekend you're coming up. You're going to be at the MSXL with Go Sports, and Todd Martinez will be in.
We got
Texas.
a double hitter going on. We got the MSXL championship, and then we have the USXBL championships that you'll be a part of with Todd Martinez, Arthur, Darren. You get a full crew. I just got to see that.
So you and Cena are heading out to
Kentucky,
Kentucky.
Louisville.
So you know what's great is the regional events are all happening right now. These next couple weekends throughout the world, and all these teams are qualifying, trying to get to World Cup to see who's going to be the number 1 D3, D4, D2 X-Ball teams in the world. So we have a lot of teams in the Imperial program that are in the running for that. So going into World Cup for semi-pro, you've got Aftermath is obviously in control with Mutiny right behind them, but then you have AC Diesel and NRG Elite, 3rd and 4th. So anything can happen there. But right now, the way Aftermath is playing, it's going to be tough to beat those guys. But anything can happen.
Anything can happen, and that's, I think, the cool thing to kind of go back to the regional events coming up, because we know the MSXL and the USXBL winners get free entry into World Cup. Yeah. And then we'll have at World Cup, we'll have the regional championships. So we will see at Cup, for you guys that might not know, watch live on Go Sports, October 6th. Those dates aren't. That's not right. Oh, those are the dates for the MSXL. Sorry, but World Cup,
6th and 7th.
Yeah, but the winners of those events this weekend, the 6th through 7th, will be winning entry fee into World Cup, and then at World Cup we'll have the regional championships, which will be live either Thursday or Friday. Not sure that date yet.
They're still working on the schedule.
But that's huge. That's going to be the first time that teams, championship teams from the region will be competing to see who is then the national champion.
Yep.
So you'll have teams from multiple leagues, the USXBL, the MSXL, and a few others will be competing. We'll see who the national champion is. MVPS
will be ascending on
maybe the NEPL.
NEPL, I think Ontario Paintball League. So I think it's going to be this first year. Once they get it off the ground, I think in years coming in the future, I think you'll see many leagues joining on this, because who wouldn't want to say, hey, I'm actually the best team.
Yeah, no, it's huge.
Year, so.
And I think it's really cool, because I think back to when I was playing the Badlands series. There was a bunch of other ones, but we had no chance of winning entry into a major tournament. You would just win certificates or cash or guns or whatever it was at the time. Right. So I think it's really cool for these teams to go out there and do this. And if any of you guys are thinking about going to any event, not to play, but I would highly recommend, one, if you're local, go to the USXBL. That's in Fort Worth, Waxahachie, Texas Paintball Fit. Yep. Go to the MSXL Paintball Asylum. If you're within a couple hours driving, go and do it. Or if there's an event you want to see, go to the NXL World Cup.
If you live out west, the UPL is having their championships next weekend, Edwin. So, like I said, these next 2 to 3 weeks, all over the United States, all over the world, everyone's having their championships to see who's going to go and represent them at World Cup. So, and going to World Cup, that's where it is, bragging rights right there.
Yeah, and I hear maybe we'll show off some of our product going into that event.
Yeah.
Stay tuned to GI.
Some teasers here coming here in future shows. So
I love it when you tease me, Rap.
No. All right, so what else do we got here today?
That just about does it. So
that's it.
We appreciate you guys tuning in, especially all of our fellow co-workers that are supposed to be working hard. Thanks,
harassing
guys. But thank you for tuning in. As Rab said, we will be pretty busy the next few weeks, so we don't have an exact date on when next.
We're going to attempt to go
do a live one
in Malaysia, if all possible. So that if the internet's working good over there, we're going live.
So then we'll be live.
So David Gooch, if you're listening, you better get that internet correct.
Yeah, there you go. So not so much next week, but the week after, when Rab, myself, and Arthur are in Malaysia, we'll attempt to go live. Also, of course, always stay tuned to Go Sports for updates this week on Go Sports, our shows that we put up. But that concludes our show for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Clint Hansen, Maui Paintball. Saw you chiming in, and everyone else. We'll catch you next time.
Yes, sir.
See you guys later.